Estamos aquí para anunciar la introducción de mi proyecto de ley de la ciudadanía para trabajadores esenciales. Este fue mi primer proyecto de ley que presenté cuando primero entré al Senado Federal hace 2 años. Anunciamos el proyecto durante una conferencia de prensa virtual desde nuestros hogares y oficinas. Reconocemos que la mayoría de los trabajadores esenciales no tienen ese mismo lujo. Más de 5 millones de trabajadores esenciales sin estatus legal permanente mantuvieron el resto del país sanos, alimentados y seguros durante la pandemia, arriesgando su propia salud y la salud de sus familias. La emergencia federal de salud pública termina oficialmente el 11 de mayo. Pero no podemos olvidar, no vamos a olvidar los sacrificios que todos los trabajadores esenciales hicieron y siguen haciendo todos los días por nuestro país. Mi legislación honra su sacrificio y también reconoce qué tan críticos son los trabajadores esenciales para nuestra economía, y no solamente cuando hay una emergencia de salud pública. Se han ganado su lugar en este país, nuestro país, y es tiempo de aprobar este proyecto de ley.
Y ya los inmigrantes demostraron que son esenciales para este país. Estoy seguro que luego de pagar los impuestos, los honorarios, los taxes, y que tengan una buena conducta moral, son el grupo que van a calificar en la próxima reforma migratoria, que en las próximas semanas o meses será aprobada.
Represents to finally provide a pathway to citizenship for millions of our neighbors, friends, and family members. Madam President, I rise today on behalf of the people who are the subject of our immigration debate. The immigrants who have lived and worked in communities throughout the United States for years, sometimes decades, while stuck in a limbo that Congress has created. Our nation depends on the labor of immigrants. There has been bipartisan agreement on this for generations. But while our nation depends on the labor of immigrants, we do not provide the pathways to citizenship that these individuals and their families have earned. Today, we stand on the brink of a historic opportunity to adopt long overdue reforms to our immigration system. Our nation's economy has always depended on the dreams, the dedication, and the contributions of immigrants. No state knows this better than my home state of California, which also represents the 5th largest economy in the world, where nearly a quarter of America's immigrants call home. Immigrants make up 27% of California's population. And yes, they are essential to our success in every industry, from farm workers in the Central Valley, to tech innovators in the Silicon Valley, to construction and domestic workers throughout the state, to nurses and teachers and more, has made us as a country rely even more on the essential work of immigrants. More than 5 million undocumented workers have held jobs that the federal government deems essential during the pandemic. TPS holders like Rose, who care for our loved ones in hospitals and nursing homes. DACA recipients like farm workers like Vicente Reyes and his parents, who show up to work every single day to keep grocery store shelves stocked and for us to be able to put food on our table. As has been the case since the founding of our nation, immigrants are serving at the heart of the American story. An overwhelming bipartisan majority knows that people like Rose, Erica, and Vicente have earned the right to live here without fear of deportation. 70% of Americans support creating a pathway to citizenship for TPS holders. For dreamers and farmers. That includes a majority of Democrats and Republicans and independents. Colleagues, right now, we have an opportunity to provide stability and security for the very workforce that the department to our nation's economy and security. So we have strong arguments and precedent from this very body in our corner. The logic is simple. Providing a pathway to citizenship is a direct government action, not some carrot and stick approach involving private businesses and private actors. Newly eligible immigrants would pay fees directly to the U.S. government. And as part of this direct government action, which would then be processed by a government employee, every step of this process involves direct government action and direct government revenues, expenditures, and personnel. And by expanding pathways to citizenship, we will grow our economy and improve the workplace for all. And that's precisely the spirit. Research by the Center for American Progress shows that providing a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, TPS holders, farm workers, and all essential workers will boost GDP by $1.5 trillion over 10 years. It will raise wages for all American workers. It will create 400,000 new jobs. And it will generate billions of dollars of spending and tax revenue, fueling our economic recovery. Madam President, we have more than just an opportunity. We have an obligation to pass meaningful immigration reform as part of the up for Rose, for Erica, for Vicente, for the millions of essential workers and long-term residents who lack permanent status, for the bipartisan majority of Americans who support reform for their immigrant friends, families, and neighbors, and for every one of our constituents, because all Americans will see the economic benefits of immigration reform. Hoy no solo tenemos una oportunidad, tenemos una obligación de tomar acción e incluir un camino a la ciudadanía para inmigrantes, para los millones de trabajadores esenciales y miembros de nuestras comunidades que aún buscan la residencia permanente, para la mayoría bipartidista de estadounidenses que apoyan estas reformas para sus familias, sus amigos y sus vecinos inmigrantes, y para todas nuestras comunidades, porque todos los estadounidenses verán los beneficios económicos de estas reformas migratorias. President, I recently met with President Biden in the Oval Office to discuss California's immigration needs. And I'm so thankful for President Biden's and Vice President Harris's unequivocal support. As I said, we have an opportunity and a responsibility to bring security to millions of federally recognized essential workers and their families. And I urge my colleagues to join me in recognizing the essential work and economic contributions of immigrants by opening the pathway to citizenship and the American dream. Thank you.